we take when good weather.
Hello, hi, welcome everybody. So today we are welcoming a school from beautiful Maine, Lincoln Academy, and we also invited 2 students who were at the school last year and who is there at the moment, and we will ask them to share experiences on the school. So I would firstly like to ask Lucine to introduce the school, go over the slides, and we can also watch your video. And if someone has a question, they can also send some questions through this chat. So please feel free to ask as many questions as you like, okay?
So thank you, Ava. My name is Lushan Tan. I am originally from Singapore, and I've been working at Lincoln Academy for 3 years now. I chose Lincoln Academy because, as Ava said, it's such a beautiful location. And I think it is one of the most welcoming communities I have ever seen in my entire career as in admissions. And so to start, I would very much like to show you a video to introduce the school.
Lincoln Academy is located in a quiet Maine village near the ocean. For over 200 years, our school has offered an excellent education in a safe, rural... The school is perched on a hill above the twin villages of Damariscotta and Newcastle. After school and on weekends, students can walk into town to go shopping and eat in local restaurants. Lincoln Academy has a friendly, warm community of teachers and students. There are about 500 day students from local towns and 70 residential students from all around the world. Residential students live in 2 new dorms, eat meals in a dining commons on campus, and attend classes. There are weekend activities like ski trips, movie nights, boat rides, trips to Boston and
Dorm
Portland,
parents,
and more.
who are also teachers, are friendly and serve as close mentors for students. They are always there to help if we need anything. Lincoln Academy has an amazing variety of academics, especially for a small school. The school has 18 advanced placement classes, as well as a wide variety of other classes. Our teachers are accessible for help after school or during. The school has a strong sports program with a variety. You are unmuted, Lucine.
As the video said, Lincoln Academy was founded in 1801. One of the most amazing things about this school is we've been around for 219 years, and we are just starting our international program. So we're 8 years into it, and to be part of something growing in a school that functions very much like an authentic high school. And we have 22 international students from 14 countries. We are on a 40-hectare campus that is extremely beautiful with 7 kilometers of woodland running trails. And it is in the safe vacation state of Maine with a village within a 10-minute walk. Our students go to prestigious universities after Lincoln Academy. And this year, we are trying to make the application process as simple and as risk-free as possible. And I'm sure Ava will share more about what we've done to make things simpler. And international student financial aid is available for qualified students. So here are some of the 14 countries represented. And here's our first picture of Gellert. Would you like to comment on what's going on there, Gellert?
Yeah, so I think I'm sure it was taken last year during winter, and I think we had a snowball fight, which was a pretty common thing that we did when snow fell down. So, and in Maine, it's not a rare thing. And when we have snow days, which is a break from school, a one-day break from school, because there are so much snow that we can't go to school. I mean, domestic students can't go to school. and then we usually did some fun thing like that.
Very cool. So here's our location, and this is very important. You see New York in the bottom, and then Boston, and we're up here in Maine. Even though we're fairly far north, we are on the coast, and that changes a lot of important things. First of all, after the snowstorms, things warm up and things are sunny, so that it is very pleasant to go outside and have the snowball fight. The other thing that's very important is our location is in the very touristy part of Maine. So a lot of our things we do are part of the tourist belt. So the restaurants, the activities, they're all very close by. The other thing that is significant is US News and World Report consistently ranks Maine as one of the safest in the United States. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of media in the last year. It's not the same in Maine. So Maine is not the rest of the US. We are consistently safe in terms of crime. And even with COVID numbers, we are still very, very low. The other thing that's really cool is Lonely Planet listed Maine as one of the most interesting places to see, the top 20 places to see in 2020. And of course, given the COVID situation, that's going to be delayed, but we're starting to be discovered as a vacation state. And here's why. It is absolutely beautiful. This is one of our very important lighthouses, and we go to it every year. And we continue to come to this place even during the pandemic because it is very big and it's safe for social distancing. And we come here to play. Eller, what's going on over here?
Yeah, this picture was taken, I think, in August when the new students and the returning students just arrived, and we went to the lighthouse that you have just talked about. And I think we ate lobster, and we had sort of a barbecue party. It was just lobster because the lobster is kind of the state meal of Maine. So we had some fun. We ate delicious lobster, and we get to know each other better. For new students, it was good. Yeah, this picture was taken here as well.
What else would you like to add, Alexander?
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun, definitely. It's like our year tradition. We always go there. We have a meal. We do fun activities like we can run around, throw rocks. I don't know, at the ocean and just have fun together. Yeah.
And as Gellert mentioned,
yeah, the lobster.
Absolutely, and it is correct. I don't know if you guys know this, but Maine exports 95% of the lobsters eaten in all of the U.S. So it is very important to Maine. So as Gellert said, we do this right at the beginning of the school year, even before classes start. And we invite you to eat as many lobsters as you want. How many did you guys eat?
I ate like 2.
You had 2?
Yeah.
How about you, Gellert?
I'm not sure. I think I had just 1, but maybe 2.
I think the record right now for the most lobsters eaten was by Leon, 5 lobsters.
Oh yeah, I remember. He ate a lot.
I don't understand how he eats 5 lobsters.
Wow.
I don't do that either. So the other thing amazing about that lighthouse is it's featured on our Maine State Quarter. If you look up the Maine State Quarter on Google, you would see that the Pemaquid Point Light is featured on it. And then if you Google map the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse down here, where we were showing those photos and we go to every year, multiple times a year, Lincoln Academy is just 24 minutes away. We are literally the closest boarding school to that famous lighthouse that's featured on our US money. And I think that's pretty cool. And here's the other reason why I think we have an amazing location. The village of Damariscotta was named one of the most beautiful towns in New England in 2019 by Fordor's Travel magazine. And there's so many beautiful coastal towns up and down mid-coast Maine, and we received that honor. And we were frankly quite surprised and honored at the same time. And as I said before, it is a 15-minute walk from school. You can get coffee, ice cream, Thai food. You can get seafood. You can get eat at gourmet restaurants, and most important, you get to hang out with many of the American day students who actually work at the ice cream shops, the sandwich shops. How often do you go downtown, Alexander?
Well, because of the COVID situation right now, we don't usually go to town. We can just order some food and eat. But last year we went to town a lot, so we can communicate with other, not international students, but day students. We could also go to restaurant where you can also find, as Mr. Tan already said, workers that are also our friends from school. And it's really fun that you can interact with other people. And yeah, that's.
And what's the process to go downtown?
Well, basically, first of all, the most important part, you need to sign up with your dorm parents. And it's not a hard process. You just come up, or you can send a text message that, for example, me and Gellert, we want to go to Best Thai, for example. It's our local restaurant, and here it's really popular. And yeah, you can just go. You just gotta say time and when you will be back. So that's pretty simple. Yep.
And the fact that you don't have to wait for an adult to drive you to go downtown, I think is magical. I think one of the things that our students enjoy here is so much freedom that after school at 2:30, if there's nothing going on, you can sign up and go downtown. But yes, it is a bit more difficult now with COVID. So we try to.
You can still do that. Yeah.
You can still go downtown, right? It's just the shops are more closed. You cannot sit at the restaurants. That's a big difference. But you can go downtown and pick up food, right?
You still can.
So here's a picture of downtown to show you how pretty some of the shops are. And again, the Google map showing the edge of downtown being less than 15 minutes. Well, okay, to be honest, it takes me 15 minutes. These guys, they go down like 10 minutes.
5, 10.
You're cross country, you run it, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And here's an aerial shot of the arrow points to downtown. And this is part of our 40-hectare campus. What you don't see in the picture are the 7 kilometers of running trails.
Oh, yeah.
And you like running through that, yeah, sometimes?
Yeah, we did.
And this water is not a lake, it's a long body of water going out to the sea. And many of our famous oysters and lobsters are collected even in that body of water. So it is very close to our school. So one of the most common questions I'm asked is, what do you get to do once you come to Lincoln Academy? And as already foreshadowed, even before school starts in August, we have the amazing lobster bake at the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse. And then every month after that, we plan something big. And this is still happening even during the pandemic. The only difference is the big festivals and the gatherings are restricted. So we have to find other things that we can socially distance still and be safe. So on the same weekend that we go on the Pemaquid Point Lighthouse and Lobster Bake, we do a lobster boat ride, just because we want to show that lobsters don't magically appear in restaurants. They are collected in cages. So we show you how that is done. But we also go kayaking. So this year, we went to a place that served the lobsters, not exactly Pemaquid Point Lighthouse. So we had the lobster tradition. And we did go kayaking. Yeah, we did. And many of our students, having done this before, were very confident. But what happened here, Alexander?
Oh, yeah, I remember this. We've been kayaking with Gellert and with everyone. And probably like Amir pushed me down the water or something. I don't actually remember, but you can see me here. I fell in the water and it was pretty cold, actually.
It is very cold. It is very cold.
But kayaking is one of my favorite activities, and I love to do it as well.
That's awesome. So, Gellert, are you helping or are you running away from Alexander?
I'm not sure. I think I'm running away, or I think I don't know what is happening.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And then one of the things we love to do on non-pandemic years is to take the students to the Maine fair. Because most teenagers, they have a lot of energy, they have a lot of adrenaline, and they like these kind of rides, right?
Yeah.
So I see Gellert in the back. Were you enjoying this, Gellert?
Yeah, I think I just had to throw up after I did this. But I think
same.
You too.
You can see the picture if you have the picture. You can. So one of our dorm parents took a picture, and I was one of the guys who almost, I'm sorry, puked during this ride, and it was super funny. But you see my face, it was like I was so tired.
Oh yeah, I wasn't standing very close to you.
Yeah.
I could tell you were feeling sick, but I didn't know Gellert was feeling sick.
Yeah, it felt really.
I think I did feel a little sick.
Okay, so what is this?
Yeah, I think I'm sorry, I forgot what's the name of this park.
Oh yeah.
I think in America we call it bumper cars.
Yes,
No.
yeah. So we can do bumping cars, which was actually fun, and I think we tried to crash into each other as much as we can. So
Oh yeah,
I think that was our goal.
I think that's the whole point of all this too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in October, we normally schedule time to visit an oyster farm, and this is pre-pandemic photo. So what we try to do is showcase how we grow oysters, and there are 7 world famous farms in that body of water 10 minutes away from our school. This is my favorite one because they're well organized. They'll talk to you about how the oysters are grown. And then if you notice that our students are wearing gloves because we teach you how to open the oysters and we eat. Now, most of our students like to eat it. Alexander, you would eat almost every oyster given to you.
Yeah, I was eating all the oysters. It was such a new experience for me because I've never tried an oyster in my country, and here it was like, I mean, it's amazing. I like it so much.
Now, some students, not so great, but they tried it anyway, but it's not for everyone.
Yeah, it's not for everyone, for sure.
So this year, because of pandemic, we didn't go down to the farm, but we brought the oysters to our dorm, and when we did a similar process to open them and enjoy them.
Yeah, also, by the way, you can go to downtown, and we have a restaurant, Public House, where you can also buy oysters, and it's really nice. Really good.
Yeah, so if you don't feel like opening the oysters, you can get the world famous oysters in the restaurant.
It's really good.
Yep. So here's Gellert opening his.
Yeah, I think I'm suffering.
You're suffering? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm struggling. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not easy to open an oysters. How did you find it, Eva? This is Eva opening the oysters.
I loved it. Actually, it was so fresh. It was a great experience we had. I was really amazed by the experience. Yeah, it was not easy, but you could learn a technique, and you have this kind of tool that helps you to open it. And the amazing thing is that they are so fresh directly from the water that I never had that before. So I loved it. Yeah. Nice to see this picture again.
Oh yeah, I love showing off these things. So tell us about the picture, Gellert.
I think this picture was taken during cooking of a wing dinner because that's the thing we had, that different parts of the dorm are labeled as colors. So there's like blue wing, green wing, red wing, and these wings gets a chance to show off their cooking skills and cook a meal from their country. So I think as a Hungarian delicacy, I wanted goulash soup. So, but in this picture, I think I'm doing a brownie. So, but it was tasty.
So yeah, I have had the pleasure of also tasting langosht from Budapest. Because every time we asked what they wanted to cook, it was Gellert and Michal who kept saying, you must have langosht. And I had no idea what that was. But I finally tasted it when I was in Budapest the last time. So yeah, one of the things that's important to us is to share our cultures with the rest of the community. It's not just international students coming to America, but our domestic day students and their parents are so curious. What is Hungarian food like? What is goulash like? And so when we do the wing dinners, it's an opportunity to make something that is more like your home food so that we can experience a little bit of your culture. What is happening here?
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite pictures actually.
It's homecoming, yeah?
Yeah, it's homecoming. It's a tradition in school where everyone gathered together, like football teams, soccer teams, and everyone just going downtown, celebrate the beginning of the school year. And later on we have a party, like a small party with dance, and It's really nice and it's super fun. We also have a bonfire, a huge bonfire where people can dance and play games and talk with people. Yep. And on this picture, we had a ride because every car was really full, so we decided to sit on the back of a car and just have a ride back to school. Yeah.
And it's part of the parade, so it's moving very slowly. But what's really fun about this is many students who came to Lincoln Academy many years ago come to visit on this day as well.
Yeah.
So, as Alexander foreshadowed, we have a big bonfire, and we usually have a few sports games like soccer game,
yeah,
to watch. And then again, it's a huge excuse for new students, existing students, and students who came to school a long time ago to come together just to visit and renew friendships. So one of the things that I would like to show for real, this was November 23rd, 1 year ago. Not very, quite different, but you can see that we were getting ready for Thanksgiving, and here you go. Gellert is getting ready to go for travel. So we give students rides to the airport, but we have hiking, we have shopping at the mall, we have local supply runs at the supermarket, so you can buy your noodles and your favorite drinks. And then on Sunday, we took the students who wanted to go to church, the Baptist church, the St. Patrick's Catholic Church. Then we organized go-karts and swimming at the YMCA. And one of the things that I was very proud to see when I visited the school for the first time is almost every weekend we cancel one or more scheduled activities because even though students sign up, there's too much going on because of homework or some other thing. And for teenagers who with a lot of energy to say, hey, that's too much, it's a huge accomplishment. So I'm very proud to say that we schedule a lot of great activities so that students are like, no, I need to rest. I need to take a break. Oh. And so in addition to the big activities, we spend a lot of time on campus just playing. What is this, dodgeball?
Yeah, it was a dodgeball tournament, and it was super fun. We can go in our gym, in our school gym. We can also play basketball there, and our dorm parents can make some tournaments with prizes, and it gets this feeling that like a competitive feeling, and it's really fun. Yeah.
And what's going on here, Alexander Gellert?
Oh, it was an arm. I guess how do you call it?
Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling, yeah. And me and Gero were just like it was like a friendly match.
But you were competing for prizes, right?
Yeah.
So there's
no, but he was my teammate, so it was yeah.
So you're just playing
for fun, yeah.
Okay. And during your time at Lincoln Academy, Gellert, you played basketball too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I played basketball in the winter because basketball was for the season, or basketball was for winter season, and I was the member of the JV team, which is actually not the racing team. It's kind of the little or maybe not so good team, but it was still very much fun, and I enjoyed it. And I played basketball in Hungary, so I was familiar with basketball, so it was a good experience.
Yeah, one advantage of being on a JV team is you have a lot more time. It's less stressful.
Yeah.
On the varsity team, you train like crazy, and no lie, for 2 months, all you can think about is practicing for the sport or competing. And to be very honest, as an exchange student, you have to be very careful before you commit to varsity, because when you come back from school, you're either training or at a tournament. And then when you come back, you have a cold dinner that you must heat up in microwave. You eat, you shower, maybe you have time to do homework, and then you crash. So for 2 months, varsity is so intense. So in many ways, even if you're an amazing basketball player, going JV for an exchange student might be a better way to experience more.
Yeah, varsity is really hard.
Yeah. So in addition to all our amazing activities, we have 18 or 19 advanced placement courses. These are university level courses. Which AP classes are you taking right now?
Right now I'm taking AP US History and I think that's all. Yeah.
So what's the difference between an AP class and a regular class?
Yeah, many people ask that, and AP classes, they prepare you more for college courses, so you can be more prepared with the amount of work and the way they assign tasks, and you can get more experience. But in addition to that, it's a really hard class, and you really need to work hard to get a good grade there. But it's a really good experience, and yeah.
But some students also tell me that your teachers in the AP classes work more closely with you.
Yeah, they do. Usually in AP classes, when you have a major assignment, you communicate with your teacher almost pretty much every day. You can email them. They will answer you at any time. Of course, not at night, but if you're polite and you wrote a good email, they will answer you anytime. And yeah, they usually help a lot, and that's very nice.
Awesome. So in addition to that, right now we have 30 clubs and the varsity sports teams. And these are all ways to make your experience more interesting. So when you actually apply to the universities, they find you very interesting. So there are several award-winning programs that we have. Our visual arts and performing arts, theater, choir, they consistently win awards, especially the theater. We have an economics and entrepreneurship track, as well as a design, engineering, and technology. In fact, yesterday, our dorm went down to our advanced technology center to have an open time so that students can create something that's interesting. And what do you want to create at the ATEC?
So my idea was to create I always wanted to create a birdhouse, like small birdhouses for, I don't know, houses and trees. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do that, but actually I didn't go to the ATEC yesterday, the building, because I was doing fitness and weight, and I had a lot of homework. But my idea was to create those houses for.
Right. And Mihal and Bao were coming back with the
Yeah.
idea of making a snowmobile. So I don't know how they're going to do that.
Oh yeah, they have like a really good plan.
Yeah. So once again, these are just opportunities to do something that's more interesting. Unlike many school systems, Lincoln Academy doesn't tell you that you have to stay in math and science because you're strong in math and science. You can cross-train. You can go and take classes outside of math and science, in the arts, in entrepreneurship and business. In fact, as a senior, you're invited to do an independent study project, right? And during that time, you work very closely with an instructor to do something like a big project to either specialize in your area of expertise like math and science or do something completely different. Are you going to do an independent study project next year, you think?
Next year, probably, yeah, I will.
Cool. And in what area?
Probably design. I love design.
Like designing?
Yep.
Very cool. So with all of that, from your international student background, the amazing clubs and extracurricular activities, the advanced placement courses, the independent study project, again, the word I keep using is you become more and more interesting to prestigious universities. And I want to point out that these university acceptances are collected for just our international students, because I don't know if you realize domestic students have a slightly different advantage because of their parents having gone to the Ivy League, for example. These university acceptances are just from our international students from 2019. And the ones in bold are name recognizable and quite famous. And here's the second page of them. And I also slipped in a photo from Hall House. Do you remember this, Gellert?
Yeah, it was my birthday, and the guys and Mrs. Stan, who was a dorm parent, they kind of threw me a surprise party. They cooked me, or they baked me cupcakes, and I think why everyone is clapping is because they sang "Happy Birthday" in a very aggressive way, and I think then we went on and sang "Happy Birthday" to everyone, even though no one else had birthdays, so it was fun.
Yeah, it's some sort of our tradition in dorms when someone has birthday, dorm parents or friends, we just usually make a small present, like a surprise, like maybe after school or during the weekends, and we just celebrate birthdays here. Yeah.
So I hope that you enjoyed hearing about our amazing school that is centuries old, and that you are assured that being in Maine, we are safe, both in terms of crime, but also pandemic. And the fact that we have an award-winning tourist town within 15-minute walk, I think just makes life here so much more special. And then on top of that, you have the richness of a authentic American Day population that work in the area, work in the town that you can walk to. But then you have the programming of a full boarding school, having way too many amazing activities on the weekends and during the week. And then the support of a staff who understand the different nuances of coming from many different cultures all around the world. We also have a very casual boarding style that I call family friendly. And for my wife and I, it means that we leave our door open even when we're not on duty, so that students like Dillard and Alexander can come visit and hang out in our living room and use our massage chair and our stove and microwave and cook things on our stove. And we welcome that. And because of all this and the student-focused academic path, if you continue with us and get a diploma, you will have amazing college offers from the top universities that fit what you want to do when you leave Lincoln Academy. So with that, I got just a few more pictures I want to show you. This is Mr. Burrows. He is our head of school, and he does live on campus as well. And after hours, after dinner, a lot of times you'll see him take off his tie and his suit, and he'll come down and play with our students. And he's a soccer coach himself, so he loves to play soccer with our students. And this is just a summary of how our vibe and our culture is. We're not this formal, conservative, prestige-based, power-based school. We could care less about how much money you have or how famous your parents are. We're more interested in you. And I would like to close out this presentation with one of my favorite photos of my community. And honestly, this happens a lot. You see this when the students are hanging out. We just kind of flop on each other and we just chill.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we went on a beach trip at that time. It's also a really fun activity, and sometimes we just get tired. You cannot see me in this picture because I was swimming with Michal, but yeah, it was really nice and it's really fun.
And so with that, I'd like to end the slideshow and open the floor to questions or comments.
So actually we had questions because for the registrants who registered, there was a survey possible, so they proposed their questions, and we had questions regarding graduation opportunities at Lincoln and how you can help them to get to universities. So is there a university preparation program running in the school?
You want to talk about that? What guidance does for you?
Yeah. So every student here in Lincoln Academy, we have our own guidance counselor, and he helps you with your college applications, with your college choice. You can always come to him or set up a meeting with him and talk about your major. Or for example, if you change your major, he can also help you find another universities. Also, guidance counselors, they usually help us with SATs, TOEFLs, and how to properly set up meetings and how to prepare for colleges. Yeah.
So for you, because you're going to spend 4 years at Lincoln Academy, what were we saying to you in year one as a freshman? You remember what we kept saying to you to prepare for university?
Be prepared for SAT. And
right.
For college.
And speak English. Do you remember that? Speak English.
I remember that.
So one of the crazy things is, especially if you are underclassmen, like a freshman or a sophomore, you're like, I made it to Lincoln Academy. And the natural thing is to want to relax and play. But no, if you're serious about going to an amazing university, especially if you're hardworking and intelligent, we want you to get the best possible university. So the first thing we say is practice your English, do everything, do amazing things, because you won't have the time later on. Like as a junior now, you're so busy, right?
Yeah,
you can't do some of the amazing things you did earlier as a freshman and sophomore. So some of the amazing trips you do that take a lot of time, you have to do when you were a freshman and sophomore, right? Because now you're focusing on academics. So that's the advice we give from the very beginning. What do you want? What university do you want to go to? What do you want to do there? And we start from the first month because the dorm parents want to know. And then when we get guidance involved, we make sure you don't corner yourself because you don't take the right classes or you take one that is not appropriate for you. So we do this to help you get the best possible offer you can get.
And what do you recommend, Lucian, for the students who would like to go to university in the US? How many years would you recommend for them to spend at Lincoln before?
Yeah, so that's an amazing question because we do on occasion allow you to come as a senior and graduate if you have the credits. But honestly, I'm very sad when that happens because you will have to submit college applications within a few months of arriving, right? Because you have to send in applications over November?
Yeah, around November, at the end, almost like in the middle of November.
So you have 2 or 3 months before you must send in applications. And that's a very little time at Lincoln Academy for us to get to know you. So honestly, we don't give you very much coming as a senior. If you come as a junior, as we've already shown, yes, you can take advanced placement classes if you're a strong student. Yes, you can do some activities, but it's mostly about doing academics. You won't get to do a lot of the clubs. You won't get to do varsity sports. You won't get to do the amazing trips that we have, like skiing and all that. So yes, you will be academically really strong, but you won't be as interesting. So the ideal to me is you give us 3 years. You come as a sophomore because usually by that time, you are very focused about your next step. You're more mature, but you still have the time. As a sophomore, you can do your sports. You can do crazy projects. You can be making friends. It's less stressful. Junior year, it's about academics and APs. And then your senior year, it's about where can I get the best offers.
So just to make people, probably they don't know, sophomore is grade 10, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of grade, come in grade 10, give me 3 years. Your first year is all about learning us, learning the school, feeling that you belong and you feel strong enough to try everything and anything.
Yeah.
Then year 2, grade 11, is about doing academics and making and impressing universities on how strong academic you are. In grade 12, it's all about networking, talking to teachers to write you good reference letters, talking to the guidance counselors about where can I get an amazing program to do engineering, arts, whatever it is you want to do, not just the name recognizable ones.
Okay. And how about students like Elliot who would like to have a year of experience at the school? So it's also an option because we have lots of European students just going for a year to have an experience of an American school. Is it also possible, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I'm very proud to say that we are very appealing to not just Schengen European countries, but also Latin American countries who have a tradition of sending students for cultural exchange from Brazil. And the reason being is we're such an accepting community. I think one of the things I keep hearing from my parents and students that it's not hard to feel like you belong here.
That's very true.
And in a short time, you just go, I feel like this is my second home. And that's very important because as an exchange student, you're asked to do so many things like, I have to eat something different. It's not bad, but it's not goulash. It's not langouste. It's not, right? You miss home. But when you feel more relaxed and when our chefs try to make beshbarmak or goulash and it's not good,
and borscht,
and borscht it's not good, but they try, at least you feel welcome. Yeah. At least you feel like, I see that they love me, right?
Yeah.
So with that, now you feel the confidence, you feel the acceptance to try more. You try the American traditions. You try to ask the teachers the hard things because maybe you're not used to asking your teacher a question, but now you trust them. Hey, could you try and make course for me? Can you show me how to do this math problem? Can you show me how to do some soccer moves? And you have the confidence to do things you won't do in your home country. So that cultural exchange aspect is very much more successful in a school like this because you get to be yourself. And there's so much to do. There's so many things you can try. You will very quickly find things that you go, oh yeah, I like that. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. Maybe I could try something a little bit weird or harder.
Okay. And what is the shortest period that you can spend in the school?
I would say 1 semester, that's 6 months, because it's so sad when you come less than that. Even 1 semester. My 1 semester, within 3 months, they don't want to go home. And they know they have to go home. And it's really tense where, do I keep investing? Do I leave and act like I'm not here anymore? And it's just very, very sad to come for less than 1 year because I see it in their eyes that they want to stay, they want to hang out with their friends. I remember, yeah. And then there's this awkwardness of, oh, you have to leave soon. No one else is leaving. So if you can, please come for a year because I promise you it'll be amazing.
Yeah, because they just once arrive, they just start enjoying and then they have to leave. So is there any orientation you have for the students? I guess there is for the international students who arrive to the school
like
in August, September?
You mean like
how do we get new students comfortable with the dorm and the school?
Okay, yeah. So usually one of us or we have a proctor program, but
you're an ambassador now. So talk about
I'm an ambassador. I'm in an ambassador club. And usually for new students, we provide them videos of our school and we can walk around with them. You can meet new people. You can show them around town and you can walk through dorms. It's totally fine. We can show them everything. And you can show them where there's like math wing, science wing, with new teachers. And
So the first 2 weeks is very busy. We teach a lot of new stuff. But I think in the dorms, because we have so many student leaders, we try to pair you with somebody who knows how to do things. Because your questions usually come after the tour. At night, you go, oh, I don't remember how to do this, or I'm trying, it's not working. You feel shy to ask. That's when having Alexander or a Bao, who was a proctor last year, a friendly face and go, how do you do that? I'm so embarrassed to ask, but it's like, hey, no problem, and then we show you how to do it.
Yeah, I remember my first year when I first got into Lincoln Academy, I was freshman. And like my first day, I had so much information, I just couldn't remember all of it. And Bao was the one who was like, that was also his first year, but he was more into the system. And we got together and we started to be really good friends. And also other proctors like Amir, there was a student, Amir, last year. He helped us a lot. He explained us everything. And they're never gonna say no to you. They're gonna always help no matter what they want to do.
And so more than the actual week of programming, we pair you with a student because depending on, especially if it's a class, like when say a few months into it and you got questions about, oh, this homework is harder than it looks. Having another student in the class with you or has done a class to explain, oh, wait, you don't have to do this. This is for next week. You only do this much. It feels a lot better because you look at it and you think you have to do it all, or you don't understand that you have to do a part of it. So that's the orientation.
What is the difference between the proctor and the ambassador?
Oh, okay. So proctors are the ones who live in dorms, and they just supervise people around. For example, if we have community meeting outside of the dorms where we gather together and talk about important stuff and activities, proctors will usually come around rooms and say, guys, it's time to move, it's time to go. Ambassador Club is way different. It's a club in school, but also involves international students. You basically record videos about your life, about how life looks in Lincoln Academy. Right now, we're actually doing a project with my friends who are also in Ambassador Club. we're doing a project about how does the residential life student looks like, how we live together, and what activities we have, and it's really fun. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I have a question for Gellert because I see that the time is almost up. Gellert, what advice would you give a student who's curious about Lincoln Academy and might want to apply?
Well, I think it's a cliche, but don't be afraid. So, and don't be afraid to ask. I mean, I think maybe I was a little shy in the beginning, but then you will realize sooner or later that everyone is there to help you and no one wants to eat your head off or something like that. So there's no reason to be afraid to ask anyone. And and be involved. That's very important. And especially I think in the winter months, because maybe the time gets slower during the winter because you have less, the daylight is, there are fewer daylight hours. And that is an important time, in my opinion, to be involved in clubs and sports and in community life.
Don't stay in your room and disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, Alexander? What advice would you give somebody who's considering Lincoln Academy now?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Gellert said about winter and other stuff, because it's really important to be involved. This community is really helpful and people here are always ready to help you. If you're involved, people will like you. Like Gellert said before, in the beginning he was shy, but then we just like started to live together, and it's just impossible to make someone, for example, stay out of our company. We're all like a big family, and Gellert was like a big part of our family. We had a lot of fun together. We lived at the same dorm, and the most important part is always be involved. Yeah.
But what's crazy about the Gellert, Michal, Alexander is they started sitting together, and then everyone started sitting together from that group, from the whole house. And the table is supposed to seat 6 to 8. Suddenly there's 10 or 12 boys sitting together, and girls too. And we bring up other tables, like, no, we'll sit together. Everywhere they go, they'll try and sit together. They'll share the seat, so 2 people per seat, and they'll cram themselves in.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Great. So thank you very much, guys, for taking your time and sharing your experiences. And thank you, Lushin, too, for introducing the school. And I would encourage everyone who are interested in Lincoln Academy to get in touch with our local YOURWAY office. And we are there to help you to get through the application process. Okay. So if there are not more questions, I don't know, Lushin, if there is anything else you would like to share that you haven't in the end.
I think it's been said, just ask. I don't wait until an application is received before I schedule a video conference. So if you're just wondering about something, maybe you want to ask Gellert more questions. Maybe you want to ask Alexander more questions. We're very accessible. We're not shy about scheduling more time to talk to you because we understand it's kind of scary. So I try to make myself very easy to talk to and say, hey, what do you think about this? Let's schedule some time when we talk. So don't be scared.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, or Gellert, an evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.